Well, hello and welcome to Sydney Harbour for the opening day of the 2022 JJ Giltinan 18-foot skiff championship. Today is the invitation race, a day's race that doesn't count for points, but it counts for a lot, I think, for boats to test out their sails before we move into the series proper, which gets underway tomorrow on the harbour. 9 races will be conducted to arrive at a champion for this year, but today most of the fleet are out and we've got a rather wet day in Sydney Harbour. How unusual for the weather we've had the previous 10 days or so. It's been the normal fare. And I'm Peter Shipway, and I say good afternoon to my fellow commentators. Firstly to Andrew Buckland. For the weather, Andrew, please.
Oh, thanks, Pete. Well, if we can have a quick squiz, we might have a little weather map to have a look at. The low pressure cell that was dominating the East Australian coast is sort of skidded away or reformed down south of the continent and in Bass Strait. In fact, big high over New Zealand, a little trough sort of up the coast, and a cold front not that far away, but just equals probably fairly stable southeast gradient flow today, but interspersed with rain squalls and a fair bit of interaction, squall by squall. Expected range 10 to 20, Pete.
Okay, Jimmy Bury, good afternoon to you, and a quick run through the course for those that might not be familiar with the southeasterly course on the harbour.
Afternoon, Pete. Southeast course, we're starting down here in Taylor's Bay, work our way up into Rose Bay around Adelaide Mark, run down to Robertson Point, then work up to Clark Island, down to Chowder Bay, then where do we go from there? Rose Bay, Taylor's Bay, Rose Bay, Robertson Point, and then finish off Clark Island. How do I go?
No, not bad, Jimmy. So it's
plenty of zigging and plenty of zagging, so it's a good course to test the boats out.
Pete, a couple of windward lewards and a figure of 8. How's that?
Yeah, well, zigging and zagging. It's good. I like that.
Zigging and zagging.
But I think before we get underway here with the race, and certainly with our commentary, I think it's only fair to pass on our thoughts to everyone that's really suffering on the east coast of Australia. For our overseas visitors, we've had absolutely torrential rain. There's been a loss of life. Many lives have lost in Queensland and New South Wales. Massive loss of property, loss of homes, businesses have all gone under. So our thoughts are certainly with everyone that's suffering. It's really been tough times, and they're a long way out of the woods yet. But a lot of clean up to do. But as I say, I think we'll, on behalf of everyone, certainly with the 18-footers involved, we pass on our very best thoughts to all those that have suffered so much. So at the moment, we're on the harbour waiting for course signals for this invitation race, which, as I say, is a practice race really for the JJs that really get underway tomorrow. So, Andrew, what give us some thoughts? I see mixed ideas in rigs. Some have got number 2 rigs, some have got number 1 rigs. What rig do we go for, do you think?
Well, on the camera cat, we'd have the 2 in because we weren't racing for a sheep station, right? And we think that there might be some pretty spiky bits, but equally, and you know, this race used to be a prize money event, and that's no longer the case, but our main focus is to check anything that we think might improve the performance of whatever rig we put in, small rig, and equally make sure we don't damage anything. And we don't damage the crew in particular.
Yeah. We're at the starting area in Taylor's Bay, and looking upwind, it's 10 knots, perhaps maybe 11, that's all. So probably getting to top end of the big rig, but we've seen some spiky bits come down as we were coming out from the starting area, the clubhouse at Double Bay, that certainly were number 2 rig squalls. But anyway, we'll see what comes out in the end and who comes out on top. And what are they feeling, Andrew, in the park about today's race? I mean, people putting the pedal to the metal?
No, I mean, as you would know, the whole fleet's not out. There's a number of boats that have stayed ashore for a variety of reasons. People still recovering from injury. Some people still doing some last-minute boat rebuild type work, etc., etc. But and just looking at the fleet, and I didn't walk through the park checking the rig selections, but it looks like the preponderance is actually big sail, and all that means is probably that if it does get very far out range, they'll just take it home. And we haven't seen, I suppose, there's only been been sort of one day of racing where big sale has been the case in the last period. So last opportunity to check the rig settings. I know that the two leading crews, Tech 2 and Andu, have both pretty comfortable with where they're at, but both of those two boats today on big rig.
Okay, well, there's the team from Queensland, C-Tech, Dave Hayter, Ben Roxburgh and Elliot Marr. They were down a few weeks ago and were pretty promising, I thought. They've had a bit of coaching from former JJ champion in Rob Brown, and he certainly lifted their performance. They were very handy in the weekends that we saw them down here. They were in the mix certainly up the first part of the races, just a matter of hanging in these longer races. So it'll be good to see how they go. They look as though they've got a big rig in, I think. And we've got the team from Denmark, which will be making their first appearance for the year with us, called Bloody Vikings.
Schütz's new favourite boat already.
And then we've got the Black Knight from Germany.
Yeah, so Pete, did a little more research on the Black Knight locality, and I think they might identify as Swabians, which refers to, of course, the province closest to the Swiss border on the southwestern side of Munich, more or less. Very strong local customs down there.
That should help them.
Yeah. And by the first heat, I will have figured out how to pronounce the beer label on the sale of the Black Knight.
I looked it up. I looked it up with Craig Nichols. It looked like a sort of like a Burning Man festival thing. The only thing I could find.
Well, it could be. No, the captain, Heinrich von Bayern, the Prince, aka the Prince, his family does own breweries in the region, so we need him on board. Exactly. A bit thirsty, a bit peckish.
Could sponsor the camera boat. What do you reckon?
Yeah, exactly. Look good.
So we're still awaiting the starting signals. There's still a few stragglers still coming out of Double Bay, but I think we're not far off the 5-minute hooter, and we'll be underway shortly. And the weather, Andrew, just looking ahead, I know we'll talk about that as we get into today's race, but tomorrow, what are we looking for the first heat?
Well, tomorrow we're just going to have a sort of residual gradient nor'easter, which will be a nice way to start the regatta. And then probably Sunday, a bit more complicated picture with a little trophy cold front type setup. So 2 good days to start, and just looking a bit further ahead, probably pretty windy midweek. So the windiest days look like they might be Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
Okay, we've got one race on Tuesday, well, one tomorrow, Saturday, one on Sunday, off on lay day on Monday, then back in on Tuesday with one race, then 2 races on the Wednesday, which Andrew said looks like it'll be brisk, southerly, and then 2 races on Thursday, and then another day off on Friday. Then we're back in for the final 2 races on Saturday and Sunday. There's Shaw and Partners coming downwind to the starting area. Steve Thomas, Charlie Zeman and Lockie Pryor.
I think Lindsay's actually back in on that one.
Yeah,
he got
Lindsay.
in this morning. I'm pretty certain he's back on. Here's our signals, 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes is Lindsay Stead, yeah, on the sheet.
Where's Lindsay coming back from, Jimmy?
Last I seen, he checked in from England, and then he was going somewhere after that.
Busy chap looking after DC Griffith's largest yacht.
Is that where it was?
Mostly, yeah, I think, yeah, whatever.
Valuable crew member of Dave Griffith's Whisper, but anyway.
Yeah. So, Pete, looks like we've got 17 boats, if my fingers and toes count is correct.
Okay, I don't see Noakes out here.
Yeah, so missing Noakes.
Noakes Youth, we're missing.
Sean carrying an injury still, and
Finport's not out.
Else. Finport fixing boat in something, carbon noises.
So as the race unfolds, we'll tell you who's in and who's out, but have we seen the Burrowang? I don't know.
Yeah, Burrowang's
there.
out here.
Burrowang's there. The Danes
The
are
other
there.
one that's out is the Lazarus Capital Developments, the youth team.
Okay, 4 minutes for the invitation race to get underway for the really the opening day of the JJ Giltinans for 2022.
And, you know, Pete, the people that probably gain most from actually completing the course and racing today are, in fact, all the visiting teams. You know,
Yes.
The Danes, the Germans and the Queenslanders.
And the WA.
And the WA boys, yeah.
With a fill-in on that today, Cam McDonald, Luke Parkinson,
Well,
MIA.
I believe, I just heard, just as I was leaving the dock to come out, that Grant Rollinson, has done something to his knee and might not be able to sail. And are they out here? I don't know whether the Western Australian boat's out here.
I thought I'd seen the Swan before.
They were certainly rigged in the park. But
Here they are.
Oh, they're here. Okay, is Rollo there?
They are.
Okay, I don't know whether... I don't think it is Rollo, Grant Rollinson, the skipper.
No.
So I hope it's only an injury that'll keep him out today, because one of the colourful fellows in 18-foot skiff racing.
Rollo, if you're watching, message me and let me know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's right. And we'll upgrade your description a bit from colourful, because that completely doesn't capture it.
Well, okay, there's the Western Australian boat coming up to 2 minutes. We're in Taylor Bay. What's the breeze, Andrew? It's down here, isn't it?
Yeah, back of the rain squall, softened it. So the boys have... Big rig is the correct rig at this moment, for sure.
I've just spotted way off screen Lazarus Capital Developments just coming out of Double Bay now.
Okay,
so
well, they will definitely miss it unless it's about 5 general recalls.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen too much of that.
And there's another boat capsized just upwind here off Bradley's
That will be Balmain Slate, Peter.
Balmain Slate, Henry Larkin. They've got a bit to do, boys, to get down to the start with minute 45 to go.
Yeah.
And the breeze down, Andrew. It's big sail at the moment.
Yeah, it is. So, Treps, the tide aligned with the freshwater flow, substantial.
It's
so
massive. Yeah.
Big current right to left on this beat. So how you actually...
So which way do we go? Which side of the island, boys?
The right-hand side, Peter.
Jimmy?
Looking upwind.
I'd go the right-hand side. From what I've got taught as a young bloke, I think that's the way to go with a run-out tide, I believe.
Regrettably, I agree with you.
Again. My goodness.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I know.
That little holiday you had, Shippo's done you some wonders. You come around to our way of thinking.
It's all that stuff at Byron Bay. Okay. There's a minute to go. The JJs are nearly underway for 2022. Balmain Slake, he's not going to do it, I don't think. He's going to be late.
Yeah.
Just got the boat up.
Can't see Balmain, Birkenhead, Point Marina either.
Don't think the Birkenhead Point Marina's out. Quick look at the line, Andrew, with 40 seconds to go.
It's nice. Good length.
Yeah,
But I think we do need to get onto port tack promptly, so I'll be starting late at the boat and
yeah,
tacking.
looks like John Winnie, who's likes that way to go, hard right. He's stacked up on the committee boat end. There's Yandu. Coming in behind him is Tech 2, one of the favourites for this title, I would think.
And today's race day sponsor, Tech 2.
And guess who's closest to the start line, Peter? At the windward end.
Marcus Ashley Jones and the Lazarus.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, there's someone trying to get in there. The Royal Oaks trying to get in
The
there.
burrowing is
6,
over.
5, 4, 3, be a general, I think. 1, what do we got?
We'll sit still and there's the general.
We have the phones turned off too.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, well, and off they go into a little rain squall. Oh, well, let's rescue the Balmain Slate at least.
Yeah, I don't know whether it'll help the Lazarus
Capital Developments.
Capital Developments. There, where are they? Oh, there.
They'll be right on the border. Might be a bit of a Le Mans start, I
That's
think, Pete.
right. Put the foot down, pull her on, and away we go. So anyway, a nervous start for the series. And it's fairly light here, Andrew. Look at that. It's,
Temporarily, Peter, if you look upwind a bit, you'll see a bit,
the sky is clearing up over
Yes.
Rose Bay, but
a bit of spike.
you can see the rain in Watson's Bay, Vaucluse area, just whipping across the water down there. Sun is shining on North Head, so it's we've really had a mixture of weather.
Been extraordinary. But for the viewers, for our little sort of idea theory about how the wind's operating, we do look at the wind station at Kurnell, which is seems to read pretty accurately in most conditions. It's just about 5 metres above the water on a channel marker near the entrance of Botany Bay, south of Sydney. And it's our most reliable read for strength and direction. And it's been pretty consistent, subject to the rain scores, but 13 to 17 down there. Take off a couple of knots for it having to come over the hill of the eastern shore of Sydney Harbour, and you've got the right answer probably.
Okay, there's Tech 2. Just going across the starting line, and most of the fleet are wending their weary way back to have another go at the start.
Yeah, and
The
Pete,
penalty flag being put up, not that it really matters for today.
let's just talk about that, Peter, because for the viewers, 9 and 10, if you sail every race this series, 10 races in a row is pretty tough on the crews. Or 10 races with 2 low days is pretty tough on the crews.
Could be quite brutal, especially if it's brisk in the middle of the week. There's a couple of boats already capsized here. We've got one over there. Is that the Burrowang? Looks as though he's capsized. Who's this over here?
That's the Lazarus in the tide up there, Pete.
Lazarus, okay. See that rain down towards North Head.
I think the Smeg's having a bath as well.
Oh, they're all Smeg's over. What's going on here?
Maybe just getting them out of the way before the...
They're using up all their capsizes, Peter. Don't know. The front of that squall had a bit in it, but I think you saw Tech 2 there, Pete, having trouble bearing away.
Yes.
Well, we were looking at Royal Oak off screen, and it was, there you go, 5 minutes.
So the
Lazarus Capital Developments has just had a swim, just trying to get over the round Bradleys off screen as well. Nando's in the tide just down there on the screen.
What's going on here?
So, Pete, there might be a bit more wind sometimes than you think, and
Well,
we handled it all right.
oh, no worries for us on the
so
Caracal.
4.5 to go. There's Smeg just getting himself out of the water. Andu's up. Lazarus Capital Partners is up.
Like, there's a bit on when you got Andu and Smeg both swimming before the start, right?
4 minutes, 10 to go. Smeg's just getting rolling. He's a fair way upwind of the starting line. He's bearing away now to get down here. Okay, 4 minutes. 4 minutes to go at the second attempt of the invitation race. Just in front of us, a little speedboat, powerboats, Ian Murray, casting his eye over the fleet. He's had a lot of input to the Andu, Savvy Jarvin and Sam Newton and Matt Stetter. Ian's been in the park fine-tuning that boat, and looks as though he's done a pretty good job. They've been really a strong performer in recent weeks, winning the Australian Championship. But they've got a long way to go. Long series, as Andrew said, with 3 minutes 10 to go for this start of the second attempt at the invitation race. The Balmain Slakey's in the water again in a different position. So he's already had 2 capsizes.
Yes, the rule used to be, Pete, 3 times on the fin and you take it home.
That's right, exactly.
Come on.
That rule definitely applies, doesn't it?
And particularly if we can get the shot of the Balmain Slate, they've got the mast top upwind, so they're going to have to roll it and get the mast top pointing downwind probably. Or at least go slowly through the first part.
No, he's going to do it at 2.5.
They did a good job.
Okay, so he might get there, Balmain, with about 2 minutes 25 to go.
Is that the spinnaker wrapped around the bow of the
Yeah, the
boat?
spinnaker's in the tide a bit.
Yeah, so he's got a bit on, the old Balmain boys.
That was the start of his problem, Jimmy. I don't know if you saw, but in the drop, he got the chute in the water and the boat slowed down, and that was the end.
He's going sideways quicker than he can go forward at the moment. But anyway, we'll concentrate on the fleet. Stacking up again at the windward end, at committee boat end, 2 minutes to go.
And the breeze coming down, just going to build a little, I think, as the last rain squall effects dissipate.
So I think most of them on big rigs, Andrew, I think, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm looking at that, and it is a bit tricky to tell now. There's two sets of configurations out there, but with some people having the number 2 jib on the end of the bowsprit. But
Andrew's definitely on little, but I think the majority otherwise are on their number 1 rig.
Minute and a half. There's
yeah, no
Rag and
blue.
Fabs. There's Smeg just winding up. That's the view from the leeward end. A great drone shot looking at the starting line and the city skyline in the background. We're in Taylor Bay, just the eastern side of Bradley's Head, for those familiar with Sydney Harbour. And over the top there's the zoo. One of the great zoos of the world, but with 1 minute to go. Oh, here comes the Lazarus belting in again. Where's he going to go?
Got no room. Going to have to little park.
Okay, there he's going to try and do the stoppio.
Got 40 seconds to waste.
He's got more than that. He's got 40 seconds now. So,
Oh, Peter.
So got to be accurate here, Andrew. Accurate. Okay, the good news is for the Balmain Slake supporters, she's up and going, and she's probably the most leeward boat in the fleet. Just tacking there to leeward. Oh, this is going to be a nice pile up here at the windward end. 20 seconds.
What do you mean, gonna be? It already is.
Yes, well.
Because it's quite windy to be doing this sort of stuff.
Oh, Lazarus is going to be early again, is he? He's got to try and stop.
And he's got no room below him. Smeg's holding them all up.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So the Rag and Lazarus clearly the furthest forward of what we could see. And we'd be imagining...
Okay, well,
I mean, that was a bit hard to believe even, Pete, wasn't it?
yeah, I thought they would have picked just a couple, but anyway, they know what they're doing. Another general, so I'm going to do it all again.
So we suspect the colour of the flag might change, do you think?
Could be a big black one, do you think?
Well, what would you do, Pete?
Who's that? There's another boat capsized down at the leeward end. Is that
Appliances online.
Appliances online?
AOL having...
Jeez, we've had some capsizes and we haven't even had a race yet.
Well, Pete, here's a bit of 14 knots, which kind of top range, big
Yeah, but
sail.
you and I wouldn't capsize in this, Bucko.
Never,
No?
never a chance.
What's going on out there? What's going on?
Just on the Bradley's Head, around the corner.
Oh, Ilve is coming. Not like Jono to be a bit late. Jono Whitty. He probably knew there'd be a couple of generals. So all we've got to try and find out who's on the helm of the West Australian. We don't think it's Grant Rollison.
So did you see, Dylan? Did you see who was on the helm? No.
No, it's not Roller.
See if we can find out that for...
Look at what flag they're playing around with here.
Yes, the darker coloured version. I like that.
Well, the one I've got here is Luke Parkinson, Cam McDonald, and Luke Payne on the Black Swan.
So Parko might be steering and Cam might be in the middle.
Okay, black flag up. 6 minutes to go. So that is the real naughty flag.
Oh, Pete, I think they should have just put it up at the start of the first race.
Yes.
You know. It's only the invitation race. Oh, well. Oh, well.
And what's the breeze, Andrew? We've got about 11 knots, have we? 10, 11 knots, perhaps?
Yeah.
A bit more in the puffs.
A bit more in the puffs.
Might be going the other side of the island shortly if the tide turns with any more starts.
No, it's a while off, Jimmy. They
Yeah.
Just bailed out the
There's our friends from
floorboards.
Germany. The Black Knight, the brothers Thomas and Andy Martin, along with the helmsman Henrik van Bayern. Okay, 5 minutes. 5 red flags up and a black flag.
Running out of room on the flagpole.
Yeah.
Oh, Pete, we need a prediction, from you. It'll be gutsy.
What, of a winner or where to start or where to go?
Where do you think Lazarus Capital Partners will start this time?
Well, he's been the most prominent boat both times. Now, there's that sail insignia on the Black Knight. It's certainly impressive. It's a Black Knight, I guess, with Kaltenberger, the right to
Turnia. We'll get the correct pronunciation overnight on that one.
That was your homework during the week, amongst other things. Bucko, you'll be getting his attention shortly.
Well, I read up on Swabia instead.
Right.
Refresh my memory about what Swabia meant.
Coming up to 4 minutes. Okay, that's the hooter for 4 minutes. Relatively quiet up in Taylor Bay and looking upwind. It's no white caps, sky clearing over Rose Bay.
There's Ilvay coming around here.
And Ilvay making a last-minute gasp for this starting line. He's just come round Bradley's head. Will he make... He's got 3 minutes 35 to get to the starting line.
Good luck with that, Peter.
Okay, so 3 minutes 25 at the third attempt to get the invitation race underway.
At the third stroke, we'll put a loaded cannon down the starting line. Yeah.
Now, where are they all going to go? I think they want this windward end. That's the problem.
Yeah, and the breeze are fairway right as we speak, so
3 minutes.
kind of makes sense, but...
Well, you don't want to be early. If you're early and you're identified, it's all over. And certainly go home.
So, Pete, I mean, up till about 10, 11 knots of wind, they can control their speed at almost stationary. But once it gets above that with a big rig in, it starts getting very difficult.
2.5 minutes to go. A bit more puff coming down the course. First mark up into Rose Bay. You can split the Shark Island. That will give you the split if you want to go left or right. But feeling is most boats will want to go right of Shark Island to get the advantage of the big ebb tide coming around Bradley's head and really giving them shunt.
And all that fresh water that's coming out from the Parramatta River too, Pete. So it's sort of double dose to go that way for the Magic Carpet ride.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's running pretty hard, and one of the strongest spots for the ebb is against the shore at Nielsen Park, halfway up the beat on the left edge. So you cannot go there. Anyway,
okay, 1 minute 50, and let's hope they're a bit more well behaved this time.
Conspicuously so, I'd say, Peter. They've doubled. They've doubled their.
Where's Lazarus? Where's Marcus? Oh, he's back in the pack. Minute 35 to go. Yes, they're fair way back from this committee boat. 125. Most advanced is the Black Knight, our friends from Germany. Sea-Tech from Queensland, they're up at this windward end as well. Oh, Burrowang is in irons back there a bit. No, he got himself out of it. Just under a minute to go, over a minute to go. There's a minute now. Trying to get the invitation race underway for the third time. We've had two generals. And we got 50 seconds. Yes, well, they're back. But you don't want to be too far back. This is where the quality comes out here. It's all about timing.
Still got a bit of congestion in.
Yep, 40 seconds.
In the top third, Pete.
Yeah, Royal Oak right here at the weather end. Fisher Paykel up here too. There's the Fisher and Paykel. Oh, here comes someone. Oh,
the Noakes.
That Heritage.
I think we'll be seeing some issues here.
Well, I think they'll be squeezed out. You'd think 20 seconds to go. So it's starting to yell. That's a good sign. Yelling. 13. Oh, Noakes Blue has punched. They're going to miss out. Fisher Paykel. 7, 6, 5. Oh, Sea-Tech's
plenty of boats over.
Yeah, 2, 1. Let's go. Racing.
Wow. Everybody disqualified.
Well, I think they're just going to let them go.
Great start down there.
Rag
Rag
Famish, the
started
most pin boat. She got a good start. There's the Rag, bottom of screen. I think most boats have said, right, well, let's just put the foot down and let's go, I think.
We've got to get in front of these guys here. We've got bugs in the shop.
We'll get disqualified later, but we'll race.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's just want to see how they test their speed now. And so a few boats. There's Yandu, one of the first to go onto port. Not much breeze here, Andrew. Only about lucky to be 10 knots.
Yeah, but with the big rig, that's plenty.
Very comfortable big rig. Shaw and Partners just got the wobbles up. They were late, very late. The last boat across the starting line. Now they're trying to get onto port. So it looks a left-hander at the moment, this breeze, at the group that are going off the pin end, led by Rag and Famish.
Okay, just looking at Tech 2 in the puff there, they had a full main inversion. They're getting back on a port now in a bit of left-handed air.
There's Tech 2 just tacked, and behind them, our friends from Denmark, the Bloody Vikings. There's the Bloody Vikings, there's Lazarus above them, and above them is, well positioned, is the Burrawang, Simon Nern, Commodore of the 18-footers. He's away well. There's a ferry bound for Manly coming round the Bradley's Head channel marker, which might make things a bit interesting.
So you'd say, Pete, looking at that, the Tech 2 leads, wouldn't you?
I would think of this group here that have gone to the right. There's a big split now. The group that gone to the left is Rag, Smeg, Balmain and Western Australia. There's only 4 of them out there.
Well, the ferry's coming to the party for these boys. Let's see.
Nice breeze now, nice flat water. Tech 2, Fisher Paykel, Jordan Gertis to the left, doing a nice job. And up off the hip of Tech 2, which we can't see at the moment, was the Burrawang, but there's Burrawang now and Lazarus. Between them is Tech 2. You can see the ferry just in line with Tech 2.
Tech 2
now,
has to tack for the
I
ferry.
think they're all going to have to bail. Well, a lot are going to have to bail out here. Tech 2's done the right thing.
It's a big bit of right.
Okay, looks strong, Tech 2 at the moment, as you said.
Burrawang going as well.
A little wobbly. Lazarus got to make a decision here, surely. Lazarus, he's going to try. Ferry's now going to try and get behind Lazarus, I would think.
Be brave.
The gap will open up, I think. He'll go behind Lazarus and in front of the Black Knight from Germany. Yeah, there's a gap that opened up.
The Black Knight from Germany will have a bit of bother here. The dirty air is going to get him. I think he does. Ready to run, man. Oh,
Yeah,
that's all right.
just getting affected now. And
Yep.
Fisher Paykel's, I think, through the lee of the ferry. The Germans aren't. Still a bit wobbly. There's the Denmark team, and they've got a very small rig on. Certainly number 2 rig. And the group that have gone to the right are headed out by Andu, the Royal Oak and Yandu. Yes, it certainly looks like the right is paid at the moment.
Well, these other guys have done a couple of extra tacks and didn't necessarily want to tack for that ferry, but pretty much had to. Just the way the alignment worked out.
This is second and third of the group that have gone to the right. Andu would lead this group. He's still on port tack. Yandu and the Royal Oak going in towards Shark Island. And Tech 2 converging with them.
And a good line of breeze coming around the back of the island, Pete.
And a couple of the top contenders have gone certainly to the left hand of the island. That's Smeg, Rag and Famish. Be interesting to see how that pans out for them. But anyway, here's Andu.
So he's on starboard, laying up into the gap between Point Piper and Shark.
Okay, that's the boats that went to left-hand side, led by Smeg and the Rag and Famish.
And Pete, I mean, almost visibly you can see the effect of the ebb tide on those two boats. So I think the right hand is going to pay here by a good margin.
Healthy margin.
And Andu, with just tack once out of the boat, he leads pretty cleanly on this side. And good fight for second out of these guys.
Smeg, Michael Coxon is the defending JJ champion with Ricky Bridge on the sheet and Zach Barnabas in the bow. Zach taking over from his father Trent, who was in the winning crew last year with Ricky and Coco. They're going right into the steel point shore. And there's Harry Price in the Rag and Famish coming out on port. Balmain Slake's there, the Western Australian are there, but they're well back behind, certainly behind Smeg. So that's the group that went up to the left of Shark Island, the eastern side of the island, or northern side. And a big group, the majority have gone to the right. And that group will be headed by Andu. Okay, there's Shark Island, and we'll see in a moment the group here, which Andu will lead, and there's the Royal Oak and Yandu and Ilve. But ahead of those, doing very well, is our friends from Queensland, the SeaTech.
Yep, he's been studying the form guide for what to do in an ebb tide, and suddenly, Pete.
Very good effort. They're off screen at the moment, just to the left. We'll see them shortly, hopefully.
And it's now in range for the big rig, definitely. Andu now struggling. SeaTech with the big sail on, coming at him pretty
They're the Queenslanders.
Smartly.
Dave Hayter, Ben Roxburgh, Elliot Marr. I saw Ben Roxburgh's father in the park today.
The Gus.
Angus Roxburgh, former champion with Michael Spees, both in 18-footers and Sydney Hobart victories. There's Andu, though. He's clear lead over this group with his small sail on, but we'll see, just seeing the pack emerging from the other side of the island, and they haven't done that badly. Smeg and Rag and Famish lead that group. They will be behind, but not by much. Not by much at all. Not as much as we thought early on. Smeg could easily be second here, I think, when we see him in a moment, coming in from the left. There he is. Oh, no, that's not him. He's got black sail. There's the Smeg.
No, I think he's maybe fourth, Pete.
Oh, fourth, eh? No, he's third. Oh, Ilve up here, maybe. John O'Witty, did he make the start, John O, or did he just pull on?
Yeah, no, he just ambled
around the back of us and
around the back of the committee.
Oh, casual as you like, old John O. But anyway,
the long start.
Anyway, yes, this group now on the right are getting nice right-hander. It's hurting Smeg coming back.
So they're all up on the low line too, Pete.
Yeah, but Smeg's not far out of it. He's tacked underneath that group. Well, but that's the leader in the distance, Andu. At the moment, there's Yandu, Fisher Michael, Tech 2's there. So it's going to be all pretty close at this mark, Andrew.
Yeah, no, it is going to be a little congested, one might imagine.
And at the moment, Ilve could be the surprise leader if that's what Andu gets coming back on port.
Ilve will lead pretty easily, I would think, looking at it.
Well, there's Andu just tacking near that lovely super yacht, the Ningaloo.
Just depends here. It can get pretty knotty. And Andu needs a bit of breeze to get rolling. Look how much rake is in that rig, Pete. It's a whole new game there.
Well, he looks pretty quick at the moment.
He's fast now, yeah. In the breeze, he's good.
And he will lead. The boat's got up high right. It just started to drop off a bit. So Andu will lead at the first mark of the invitation race.
He's judged that beat very well.
Southeasterly breeze of about 10 knots. Nice rain squall coming over the fleet shortly, I would think. Andu will lead quite comfortably.
Bit more than 10 there, though, Pete, on the bear away.
He's away.
Shippo, just for the info of everyone at home, BFD for Tech 2, Burrowang and Smeg.
Okay. Tech 2, Burrawang and Smeg.
Yep.
Okay, well, they're in play but out of play, if you know what I mean. They're on the course, but they won't qualify in the results. But I don't think that will really matter to them. They just want to test their speed as one of the black flaggers. Smeg has gone round, followed by the Royal Oak. So we've got Andu first, Ilve second, C-Tech from Queensland third, Smeg fourth, Royal Oak fifth, then the Rag and Famish, Yandu, then Tech 2, then Western Australian, then Noakes Blue. Okay, good pressure here, as you said, Andrew.
A compressed peloton and a little rain school just jumping over the hill to give them a smart ride down to Robertson's Point.
That's Noakes Blue just setting the spinnaker. Yvette Heritage. A few more come round. Balmain Slake. Fisher Paykel. So they're on the reach down to Robertson Point, which is the Mossman area on the harbour. Normally a tricky leg to get around Bradley's Head, but I think at the moment it looks like it'll be pretty calm to get round there.
Well, Andu with Little Rig is in VMG mode, and the guys with Big Rig probably it's full noise to get round the corner, but
we'll see how that pans out. If she's going to hurt, it's going to be downwind for Andu with the number 2 rig on.
Yeah.
Looking down the harbour, you can't see Manly. It's just covered in rain. But sunshine where we are for the moment. As the tail ends are going around, there's the Bloody Vikings around, the team from Denmark. Just around. Just ahead of them is the 80-foot bar and restaurant. There's a nice shot of West Australia, Tech 2, Yandu and the Rag and Famish. All heating up for pressure.
so it is a VMG run, Pete, looking at the leaders. Breeze had rotated a bit as well.
Yes, well, that's Bradley's Head in the distance. They're trying to get round, but they're doing it easy at the moment. They're all heated up. As Andrew said, it's VMG running at this stage. Many times this year we've seen them really struggle to get round Bradley's, but not today at the moment.
And the rain squall just evident in Double Bay, so only about perhaps...
Hopefully by the time we get down to Robinson, it goes in behind us, and then...
Well, Jimmy,
we'll be right.
It's bringing you breeze, but it's lifted breeze.
Absolutely.
Breeze is
big
east,
breeze.
but there's pressure.
Yeah, the boats behind are really high, aren't they? Tech 2 there in West Australia.
And they've been having a bit of a stoush for clean air, but...
The Black Swan from Western Australia. We're not 100% sure who's on the helm of that today, but they're certainly in the mix.
We get Dylan down at boom level, we'll find out.
C-Tech and Smeg. They're third and fourth at the moment. Andu leads and Ilve. John O'Witty, second spot. Lachlan Doyle and John Walton. There's the Ilve. Just rumbling down on Andu with the small rig.
So now you see separation here between big rig and little rig. Ilve faster and deeper at this time.
There's good breeze coming.
Yeah, and it's a pretty good header.
Tech, Smeg and C-Tech in shot there are rumbling down on a beauty. Tech, Smeg especially just rolled over C-Tech.
Pretty localised bit of window and out the other side of the puff to some degree.
Yeah,
anyway, we're travelling with Smeg.
So remembering that Tech 2 and Burrawang and Smeg were over at the start, so they will not figure in the results. They're still on the water having a go. No what's happened to Ilve there. He just got the wobbles up a little.
A velocity header, Pete.
Okay, Smeg's the boat that's coming here. She's rumbling down almost up to Ilvay.
On the face of a boomer. The rich get richer. You get a puff and the boats go the same speed as a puff or slightly better.
After this group, we've got the Royal Oak and then the Black Swan. He's done a good job.
The mark in front and downwind, almost directly downwind now, about half a mile from where the leaders are.
Yeah. Okay, so a few jibes yet to come.
Set her up, Pete, 2 and in.
Yeah, 2 and in'll do me.
Yep.
And you can see Smeg, there's Andu. Smeg's got deeper. She's been the big improver here, Smeg. Just rolled over Ilvay. C-Tech's done a good job too. Got himself into 3rd position, but Ilvay to Leeward will probably jibe first. And then rumbling down in this group is the Royal Oak.
And the unknowns of a rain squall about to hit us.
This group have had a bit more pressure than the team behind, but now they're all just starting to get in the breeze. Andu's starting to get it. Gee, that's close, isn't it?
That's a yacht race.
Andu, Smeg, C-Tech, Ilvay, Royal Oak. Nothing between them.
So the mark now. Breezy gone forward quite a way as
Yes.
well. Mark now probably about 0.4 of a mile.
So this is going to be interesting, this jibe. There's the rain squall they're coming into. No man's land. What's in there, we wonder?
Yeah. Usually stuff happens, Pete.
What a great shot that is. What a great shot. Okay, there goes Andu. Jibe, first to jibe. Smeg jibes almost in tandem.
And plenty of pressure there looking at Andu now.
They're about 50 metres from the mark here. So it'll be a drop jibe, I think. Certainly on Andu it will be. They're almost on the lay line.
Technically, Pete, a giant drop.
Yeah.
Here they go. And plenty of pressure on.
Yeah, giant drop. There we go.
And plenty of wind coming too.
Absolutely.
Lovely, Sammy. Dial-up's good. That's about as good as you can manage.
Okay, Smeg dropped early, coming in.
Smeg pretty conservative, but the right answer on the face of a bit of rain.
Ilvay's going to have a bit on here. Jono Whitty, the black Spinnaker. Ilvay, going to have plenty on, Jono. He's got a lot to do, and behind there's a capsized.
Just capsized.
Queenslanders in C-Tech have capsized. Ilvay going upwind with the Spinnaker on, not recommended. And nice job for the Royal Oak as the Black Swan has overlaid the marks. And a good squall here. Black Swan's got to get the job done at the jibe. He's okay. Rag and Famish with the purple Spinnaker. Hang on to it, boys. Tech 2 outside of him. Okay. The Rag is around, but not tidy.
Well, in consideration of what was happening there, Pete, that was not too bad for everybody, really.
Well, the breeze caught them. The breeze headed them and lifted in speed. Okay, here comes the Black Knight around Wooshka. Inside him's the Fisher Pike'll. Oh, the Black Knight's still got a bit of the Spinnaker over the side. Round the outside, Balmain Slate. Shore and Partners gets in there. Noakes Blue saved it. Good job, Yvette. Lazarus. Shore and Partners is there. Here comes.
Oh, Noakes just to the left of screen. He's got the Spinnaker completely prawned.
Gone over the side. Dear, dear, dear. That is not good.
Not fun.
No.
Being a forward end in that manoeuvre.
Yandu was a big loser there. I don't know what happened to him. He's round behind the kitchen maker. Burrowing coming in. Noakes Blue, Yvette Heritage has a lot to do. They've got the Spinnaker all over the side. It'll be a long afternoon. C-Tech in the background trying to get up. They're up and going. The Denmark boys in the bloody Vikings, they'll be last around as Noakes Blue capsizes. But anyway, we're up on the beat to Double Bay and the breeze, the sky's cleared and the breeze is down again.
Well, Pete, it's interesting. Cooler air on the back of that squall, and actually reasonably sort of 12 knots. And who knows, in the middle of the squall there might have been a bit of 16, but this is more solid pressure than we've had for a while.
Balmain Slate just going ahead of the Kitchen Maker. Kitchen Maker is Lachlan Steele, Jerome Watts and Matt Doyle. The majority of the fleet are all pretty close at the moment.
Well, the fleet got recompressed.
Yes.
The guys coming from behind brought the puff with them.
All except Yandu. I don't know what happened to him. He was well placed reasonably at the weather mark, but anyway, it's Andu leads with Smeg. So it's going to be a good battle here. Smeg with a big rig, Andu with a small rig. Fisher Paykel. Good breeze in Rushcutters Bay, ahead of Rushcutters Bay.
So, name of the CYCA, Pete, Rushcutters
Yes.
Bay, for the viewers at home.
And looking at these guys, full in main inversion there, Fisher and Paykel.
And there's John O'Witty on the Ilve. He's come to grief. Ah dear, that's a shame. He was well positioned. And there's Tech 2 with a lot of inversion in that mainsail, as you said, Andrew. Plenty of wind.
More than a lot, Pete,
Yeah.
actually. So I'd say big gain to these guys on the right edge here.
Shippo, just got a message through saying Luke Parkinson is steering the Black Swan for the regatta. Yeah.
Okay, so Grant Rollison, his injury must be quite significant to keep him out of the series. So that's a disappointment for Rollo. We wish him well. No doubt we'll see him in the club tonight, but all eyes there on Tech 2. And there's the leader in the just coming in on port tack, Andu. Tech 2's got himself right into the mix again, as he has a habit of doing. Just see, there's Andu, and in a moment you'll see Smeg coming across in a clear second spot. Royal Oak will be third or fourth, and then the Black Swan is certainly up there in fifth or sixth position. So, Andrew, in question without notice, the mast height difference between the number 2 rig and the number 1 rig, approximately.
About 900 mil or 3 feet in the old parlance.
Okay, so what is significant, bit more sail area. Smeg goes back to get stuck into Andu. Andu still leads.
And pretty interesting, a little bit too much wind for Smeg's big rig in the puffs, and not quite enough wind for
Andu in the lights.
in the lull. So
Smeg's closed up.
Smeg's well up to him, yeah, exactly.
One of the naval boys on Sydney Harbour, just in the between those two skiffs, and they're about 150 metres downwind of the weather mark up in Double Bay, and then they've got the run back down to Chowder Bay, Clifton Gardens after this. This is the invitation race for the 18-footers for the 2022 JJ Giltinan Championships, which is the final regatta of the year for these boys and girls. Andu, quite light here where he is. He's only lucky to be have 10 knots at times, more likely.
And he's
8 knots.
trying to squeeze up here to the lay line. Good luck.
Smart sailing, can hopefully he can lay through. He can really make things difficult for Smeg.
Well, he simplified the first beat beautifully. So he's trying to simplify this one as well. He got a good bit of right. He's probably okay. No, maybe not. It's a header going and lull.
Smeg hammering in on port.
Yeah, so the wind up the top of the track here, not enough for the little rig. I'd expect that Smeg's making yards in the lulls particularly.
It's going to be a close cross. Advantage starboard tack with Andu. He has right of way, but I think Smeg...
But he's just bogging down. He just doesn't have enough wind to get really rocking.
Get forward. Smeg will cross by a couple of boat lengths. I think is Andu a bit under the ley line?
Yeah, he's under the ley line pretty readily. Smeg tacking now, so that's where the ley line is. Oh, lovely tack on the Smeg.
Beauty.
Zach looks a bit quicker than his old man.
Huh.
Mate, he's been training 5 days a week for the Manly Marlins, and then squeezing in skiff training as well.
That's his problem with the Manly Marlins.
Give it up.
If he came to East, he'd be a rocket.
And for the viewers,
he'd be steering.
For the viewers offshore, the Manly Marlins is a local first-grade rugby team. Proper 15-man rugby.
There's Smeg, he's away.
And my colleague, Mr. Shipway, was formerly associated, shall we say, with the East Rugby Club.
Still is, Pete? You're still there?
Absolutely.
But I was going to make the point, Pete, they actually carried the ball a few times.
Yes. Okay, back to sailing, boys.
Yes, indeed.
Andu is around. Smeg has not set the spinnaker yet for this quite tight run, we think, down to Chowder. He's got a nice little lead. He's just working up high. And here comes a really good bash for third. It could be the Royal Oak.
Tech 2 and the Black Swan.
Tech 2 and the Black Swan.
Oh, and Tech 2's going to get there, I think.
Yeah, Royal Oaks needs some height. Hang
WA.
Hang on. Oh,
no, the whole fleet's auto-tacked.
The Black Swan capsized then. Oh,
big bit of east here.
Yes, that's what caught them all unawares. So Royal Oak and Tech 2 had to put the tack in. There they go again. There's Lazarus going to come in on.
The Rag and Famish snuck back in there, Pete.
The Rag got up there. Yep. There's the Royal Oak. Tech 2. That's third and fourth. The Rag next, and then Lazarus.
Big long two-sail reach boat, look at that.
Making a comeback to get into it. Oh, the Rag, what did he do? He missed the mark.
No.
Oh, did he hit? What did he do? I didn't see that. Doing circles.
Infringement.
Practicing penalties.
All right, okay. Well, gee, it's all happening here. Lazarus is around. Now Shaw and Partners. He's improved greatly. He was way back after the first beat.
Oh,
now the
Rag's dropped the tiller.
In all sorts of trouble as...
Drop the main, drop the tiller.
The Burrowang goes around the outside. And here comes Yandu. So he's got himself back up into it.
Germans around.
Here come the Germans in the Black Knight. And after them will be Balmain's Slate. And, it's all happening up in the leaders too. The Andu has been the only boat to set a spinnaker.
Rag and Famish again.
Famish almost into windward. They are into windward, going, and gone. So the Rag, see, they got wobbly there. So they're out of contention.
Peanuts in power boats.
The Black Swan's up and going. But that's the
broken tiller extension looking on the west, on the Black Swan.
Okay, that won't help them. But we're on the reach down to Chowder. Andu, the only boat to set a spinnaker. Smeg has stayed high. She led at the windward mark, Smeg. Way in the distance, she still looks to be leading this the race, invitation race, but remember she was over at the start, so she won't figure in the results. That's Smeg way in the distance. Shaw and Partners. Great shot with the bridge background. Bradley's head boy Then Marcus Ashley Jones and the Lazarus. Cam Gundy and Geronimo Harrison. They're holding down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th position. Very good effort. And that's the battle for 3rd between the Royal Oak, Tech 2. There's Lazarus again. Good breeze now again, Andrew.
Yeah, so just back to the gradient wind between the rain squalls. The effect of the last squall's gone away, so... And you know it must be pretty stable for the leader, Smeg, to get down to the mark without a spinnaker. Or but.
Yoli. There's Tech 2. Royal Oak. Aaron Everett. John Cooley and Charlie Gundy.
So travelling with Tech 2 and Royal Oak. Tech 2 doesn't mind a bit of two-sail reaching either, Pete. Tricky point of sailing, as we've noted.
They're a long way behind the leader, that's for sure.
Well, the leader's put a good minute into Andu, and Tech 2's come from 5th to 3rd. They get to the mark without setting a shoot. And it is good pressure. 12, 10, 12, 14 sort of.
Round this mark, Chowder Bay, Clifton Gardens. There's Andrew just about to go round. You see the mark any second there. There it is. He's around that. Then the big beat up again into Rose Bay. And they come back downwind into Taylor Bay. But it's Smeg holding a very convincing lead at this stage. Next boat around, that's Tech 2. It's the race leader, Smeg. So, Tech 2, Tech right on the mark.
Yeah, and the deficit between margin between Tech 2 and Andu, about 35 seconds. Not much more back to Bragg and Flemish. Tech 2 quickly onto port.
And the red spinnaker of Shaw and Partners. A few spinnakers popping out back down the fleet now. They all went very high on the breeze, probably down a little bit, so they're able to set shoots. Lazarus is around, attacking straight away as well. Next around will be Shaw and Partners. Then the Burrawang Hotel.
So, Pete, I think that the Andu, you know, I know Ian still likes to lean pretty hard on Mr. Badham's weather advice. And I think interesting to see that they wouldn't have put that rig in without some strong advice, I don't think, from Roger. And gone against the entire fleet, although they may have been interested in testing it out, but equally testing their relationship with Mr. Badham, perhaps.
Now we've just seen the Burrawang go round. The next group will be with Yandu and Balmain Slake. Yandu running in quite square to this mark now, and Balmain Slake around the outside of him. Yandu goes up wind now, they're all tidy. Now the Balmain, then the Black Knight from Germany. Come on, boys, you've got to get that spinnaker down. And there comes the Black Swan.
So a bit of a fall from grace from them. They were close to the lead.
They had that capsize, yeah.
Then swim.
And the kitchen maker with the white spinnaker. 18-footer barn restaurant with yellow. Then Sea-Tech, friends from Queensland without the spinnaker.
And a big puff coming down the middle of the course, but hard right.
Screaming in his ill bay. Yeah, there's a really good puff here. We've got 12, 13 knots plus. So it'll test the big rigs out. Help Andu, no doubt. Foot and Barn Restaurant around, Ilvay next around, John O'Witty. It's Fisher Michael. There's
Bloody Vikings.
the Bloody Vikings. Oh, setting the shoot. Good boys.
Good boys. 200 yards to go to the mark. It'll be quick. A practice hoist.
They've got about 6 or 8 boats in Denmark. The skipper was telling me. Jasper Brondom is the skipper. Jasper Brondom. Ufi Anderson and Felix Gruss. The crew, two Danes and a German.
So, Pete, they've got about a 3-month racing window, haven't they, water temperature-wise?
They race, he's telling me they race in Aarhus, the island of Aarhus.
Yep, famous Danish island.
The Burrawang Hotel there on screen.
Yep. Having a good day.
Balmain's Shore and Partners in front. Balmain Slope, top of screen.
Good look at this. Royal Oak, a fair bit of main twist. About to go into a big puff.
Really good puff coming down to these boys.
Jib looks fat, but here we go. Works all right.
There's Andu up to windward of them. Coming into their own now with this breeze with Andu. And Smeg still leads. We'll see him go across shortly. He's got back on starboard.
So, Pete, the whole fleet the right side of the island this time,
Yes, yes. There's Smeg on shot. Point Piper in the background. He'll cross clearly ahead of Andu. So these are the... Andu would be second. Off screen would be Tech 2 third, and the Royal Oak would be fourth. After them would probably be Lazarus. So they round this mark and then run back to Taylor Bay for another beat up into Rose Bay.
So Smeg were one of the boats over, weren't they, Pete? And then you in Tech 2, so
Yes.
Andu leading
Yeah,
on water.
yeah, both Tech 2 was over with Burrawang and Smeg. So there's Lazarus. Nice breeze here, 12, 13 knots. Lovely.
Well, a fair bit of rig adjustment for all the boats. Breeze up and down a lot.
Jack McCartney, Charlie White, Lewis Brake on the Tech 2. Certainly been close to the JJs in the last couple of years, but just haven't been able to nail it. Will this be their year? And there's a great shot there of the 3 boats, and you probably have to say, in fairness, the 3 probably favourites for the Giltinan at this stage. I know it's a long series, but Smeg leads, Andu, and Tech 2 just throwing a bit at it.
Bit of air in that puff there on screen.
Yeah. Tech 2 happy to help accept that much inversion, so not a lot of jib twist. Pretty good uprange tack.
And Andu left, Smeg right, approaching this weather mark. Tech 2 seems to lose his main quite quickly. Andrew, compared to some of the others, doesn't he? Or
Yeah, he doesn't sail with much jib. He's happy to do that and not sail with so much jib twist.
right.
And, you know, he might be having to think about exactly where his clueboard position is, the sheet onto the clueboard of the jib, but
It's fresh as we've seen it now. The weather mark, really fresh. 14, 15 knots. Michael Coxon leads, Semi Jarman. Two of the former multiple champions of the JJs. Coxon, the defending champion. Semi, 7 times winner of the title. Smeg not far off attack. 3, 2, 1, there they go. So Smeg leads.
and a pretty big puff at the mark, Pete, too, for the barrelway.
He's got a beauty Smeg at the mark here to get round.
Yeah.
He's around.
Oh. Lovely windward hoist.
And do round.
You don't muck around on the turn, do they?
No.
Wow. Send up, Sev.
Literally, we're here.
Yeah.
Smeg leads, Andu, and then third will be
Tech 2.
Tech 2. Yeah.
Then Royal Oak 4 Pines, I think, Pete, will be
Yeah, I think that's right.
next.
He's been there or thereabouts in recent times, the old Royal Oak. Doing a good job.
Lazarus just behind Smeg there, still working upwind.
Yeah. So which side of the island are they going? They're going up this side, I think. By the look of it.
Yeah. Smeg's not going to jibe.
Andrew's going to jibe. Smeg's not. Here comes Tech 2 around. Oh, good puff.
It's a-
Really good breeze here now.
Yeah.
Breeze of the day. That's the Royal Oak just in the background, and then after him will be Lazarus, and the fleet have stretched out a bit here. Have to wait for Lazarus. There's always excitement when Marcus goes round. Anything. Starting lines, marks. So a split in the leaders. The Smeg have gone to the western side of Shark, and Andu the eastern side of Shark Island. Okay, there's Aaron Everett around in the Royal Oak. And next will be the Lazarus. And then a long gap then to the next boat, which I don't know who even be next.
Marcus's rented crowd, you can hear in the background.
Sorry, folks, off screen. Tech
Yeah.
2 just ate it when preparing for a jibe.
Oh, Tech 2's in the tide. You just see to the left there. There he is, the red hull. In the jibe, was it, Andrew? I didn't see that.
Yep.
Oh, that's...
They didn't actually get to the... They got the bow down before they jibed, sort of. Looked like.
Well, that's... Yeah, well... Hope they get that out of their system before the big one starts tomorrow. Oh, here comes the Lazarus, just ducking over Simon Nern and the Burrowang. There's the Balmain Slake. And they're Tech 2 in the tide, eh? Wow.
Very uncharacteristic,
Yeah,
isn't
you
it?
don't see that too often.
And I think you might find they just go home from there.
The western side of Shark Island is Lazarus. And looking very comfortable.
Very mundane for Marcus, isn't it?
Yes. it's another good battle at the front. I think we'll come to it in a moment. Andu, who went one side of the aisle, is closed right up on Smeg.
Let him go now.
They're the two leaders, and Andu is close to the lead. I think he might even be in front. He is in front. Andu's got himself back in front. Wow, he's had a good run down there. He was 20 seconds adrift at the weather mark. He went down the eastern side of Shark Island, Smeg the other side, and now Andu leads. Meanwhile, we're on the Royal Oak. He went eastern side as well.
We're travelling down here with Royal Oak 4 Pines. Bottom mark just to the right of screen. With
Got a great shot right in their cockpit. Laying down on the mark. Good job, boys. Really good job. Good job by the sailors and good job by our drone boys. Look at that. Fantastic. He's not ready to jibe yet. He's got a bit of a way to go. One jibe it in. He gets this right. Bradley's head in the background. Not far off it now. He's having a look. There he goes, I think. 3, 2, 1, go. Good job. So they're a clear third.
pretty nice completed jibe with about 150 metres to the mark.
A good lay line too. Oh, got a good gust here. Oh. Okay, Spinnaker's aboard.
No risk involved in that, Pete, is there?
One man drop. They did very well. Aaron and John Cooley stayed on the wire. Really good effort. That was really good. Well done. Really well done.
Funny, just question how long they hold the tack line on for, really.
Yes, but you've got to get it right.
Yeah.
If you get it wrong, you look pretty ordinary.
Not much margin for error, that's for sure.
Good breeze again now. It's 11, 12 knots. Here comes the Lazarus. He's missed the lay line. He's got a couple and in. Now we're on the Shore and Partners. He'll be after Lazarus. So it's on the water. It's Royal Oak will be third, Lazarus fourth, and Shore and Partners fifth. But remembering that Smeg was over at the start. Here goes Lazarus. Oh, nice job, boys.
Big puff coming, big right-handed puff.
Yeah, Spinnaker's in the bag.
Shore Partners all the way through there.
Goes Shore and Partners. Steve Thomas and Lindsay Steddon locking Pryor. Bit of breeze coming down to them here.
Yeah, just a bit of interruption from the Manly ferry going city-bound,
Yeah.
looking upstream. But nice puff for Shore and Partners to turn the corner. Still not quite. Spinnaker in the bag.
Oh, they're all right.
Balmain and Black Knight.
The Balmain and the Black Knight. Next around will be Burrowang. We'll see him in a moment. Oh, there's Balmain. Oh, what's he done? He's hit the lee of the ferry.
He hit the lee of the ferry.
Oh, we'll be right, I think. Oh, now the Germans have hit it.
Well, they've done a smack job to get out of it.
Oh, he did well.
The burrowing in close here, no pressure on the bowman here.
No.
Gee.
Rory Cox and Brandon Bynick.
Okay, you're off to it.
Okay, come on, get it down, Brandon. Oh. No.
Their best race in a while, their shipper.
Yeah. Next two in will be Yandu and the Balmain, and then the Germans coming in from the left looking upwind. Yandu, a nice early conservative drop. Here come the Germans barrelling in.
And they're going to be a bit conservative also.
Yep.
Gee, no mucking around there with the tack line. No, what's the
Just let her go.
Oh. Stuck on the headstay.
Oh, that doesn't look always good. No. Oh, it's stuck. You can see it. Oh, you have to
no.
let it. Oh, in all sorts of trouble here, our mates from Germany.
Prawn opportunities galore.
Yeah, 3. Oh. Yeah, the tack line, the clue got caught on the...
Oh, there you go. It's doing it a bit differently.
Anyway, we did well there.
Got a bit on.com still, but anyway, got out of it.
Anyway, that was...
Good effort.
Yeah.
I had that going absolutely balls up, that.
It looked for a while it was, but anyway, good recovery. Balmain is round next. Then Jono in the Ulve, Jono Whitty. Oh. Another bloke that gives us a lot of excitement is Jono. He's around. Okay, and then the yellow Spinnaker is the 80-footer bar and restaurant. The white Spinnaker belongs to SeaTech from Brisbane. Then the next one is Kitchen Maker, followed by Fisher Paykel. And there's not many behind them. I don't think any. Oh, yes, there is. It's
The Bloody Vikings.
the bloody Vikings. So we're off to Rose Bay again on the third beat into Rose Bay.
There's the Bloody Vikings there, Pete.
Friends from Denmark.
No, travelling here upwind with Shore and Partners. Just a beam of us and Lazarus off to the right. Some signs of a further little squall coming over the eastern hill here. Dover Heights perhaps, and further to the south. Could interfere for the reach down to Robertson Point the last time in the shape of a bit more wind. We said we were travelling with Shore and Partners. We actually
in Shore and Partners.
In Shore and Partners. They're going back to the right with a good bit of pressure coming at them.
Yeah, pretty good.
Just crossing ahead of them is Lazarus, Capital Partners.
And in the background, Royal Oak 4 Pines.
Yep, that's right. So we saw Tech 2 when positioned in third spot on the water capsize. I haven't seen him since. Has he gone home, Jimmy? Did you see?
Shipper, to be honest with you, I lost sight of him.
Yeah. He was capsized right on Shark Island, so... Anyway.
I think I can just see him at the boat ramp up in Double Bay, Pete, the Tech 2 boys.
Okay, so they've bailed out. They were over at the start anyway, but along with the Burrowang and Smeg.
Yeah, the burrowing practicing starting there, Pete, they haven't been in row A for a while, so new experience.
They had a go at it.
Yeah. Oh. Well, the bottom of that boom, we're just commenting on a little bit of blood coming out of Lindsay Stead on the main sheet of shore.
Forgot how low the boom was.
Yeah,
You'll get compo off Griffo, won't he, after that?
absolutely.
There's our leaders in the background of that
Leader
shot.
is around with a white spin again.
Now,
Is Andu.
Pete, it might be optimistic for Andu to set straight away here. Plenty of wind coming and hard right looking upwind. They're laying at the moment.
I suppose with that smaller rig, he thinks he can probably
Yeah,
hang in there.
muscle it over if he
Yeah.
has to, of course.
So he's opened up nicely on Speg.
Well, pretty windy up that boom.
Which would suit the number 2 rig.
No, he's okay. He's comfortable.
Smeg's setting also behind him.
Yeah, good luck with the big sail.
Yeah, plenty on there.
Yeah, I don't think having the big rigs, you're going to get there, are you?
We might take up station on the wharf here, Chits. What do you think? Having a look at Smeg coming at us. Yeah, so Andu got there pretty comfortably, and it hasn't quite built yet. We're not too far away, and it's plenty windy where we are.
They've got a good 20-second lead over Smeg, but remembering Smeg is not in the race, they were over at the start. So you take Smeg out, it's a huge lead to Andu. There's this very polished crew of Sevi Jarvan, Matt Stenter and Sam Newton. They certainly know how to win these big races and big series.
So, Andu laying down nicely towards...
Smeg's going to have a
Really
lot
said.
on with this big sail, as you said, Dan.
Yeah, he's just in the pressure now, the Smeg, but not on screen.
No.
But 20
There he is.
seconds. Here we
He's
go.
having a water.
Might be a worthy topic of following, James, you think?
I've been waiting.
This will be good. Hello, Bradley's Head.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's an obstacle ahead. It's called Bradley's Head.
Yeah.
They've got to get around that. To get to
Get
the
low on the
Robinson
wires,
Point
boys.
mark. Yeah.
Low hooks, Pete.
Very low hooks here.
But he'll be liking his chances here to some degree. He's got a good view of where Andu is.
Hope he's got a good view of a Danish boat coming up here.
Been on .com now.
There's bloody Vikings from Denmark just going across. Cocker can put the bow up now. Plenty of wind coming, but I think he...
But he'd be looking upwind at Andu and know that they're now in VMG Run Road.
I think he's
only
gonna-
a couple of hundred yards away. He's going to get
do
there
this, yep.
one way or another.
Terrific sailing. Really great sailing. Yeah, not that much breeze coming, but he's got a nice one there. He'll kiss Bradley's head and away he goes.
So the boats don't go as fast with the big rig as they do with the second rig. The pitches don't look any slower, but he's only doing about 17, 18, 19 knots here. 15 now, Jimmy tells me.
Great crew work here.
Put the bow down, he'll do 17 knots.
We can't,
Wow.
Now we're up to 17.
can't put the bow down quite yet.
Soon. He knows where the rock is.
Yes.
Bow down now. Let's go. Sheet on.
Meanwhile, Andrew right up to windward, struggling. So small rig on.
So these guys now sort of lined up with a mark VMG mode.
Andrew in the background. There's Andrew, see away in the distance.
And
well to windward.
Good stuff from the boom end of the drone.
A bit more breeze coming down here to Andrew at the moment. He's just got a puff. Both a bit soft here.
They'll be pretty close to each other at the bottom here.
Yes, they will be. Well, I think Andrew will still lead at the moment, but certainly Specs close the distance. You get them out a bit more. There's a good puff coming that Specs going to get in about 10 seconds.
Yeah. And Andrew's probably going to get out the back of that puff.
Yeah.
Andrew's got one sitting on the inner wing bar.
Yep. Smeg just
so
getting
pretty
it.
light.
Just starting to get it now, Smeg. He's hammering away at this lead. Just into this really good puff now. Where's the mark? Oh, he's below the mark at the moment, so...
But he's happy to be below it, Pete.
Absolutely he is. Absolutely.
The risk lies in getting high, not in getting low.
Risk in life, is that life advice, is it, Bucket?
Oh.
Risk of getting high.
Look at this. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Disappointingly, Smeg's not in the race. He's black flag. But anyway, it's good theatre, as they say. You know, really is a practice race. And boy, oh boy, looking upwind, you can't see Double Bay, you can't see Rushcutters Bay. Rain everywhere. Wow, it's going to be wet for a while.
So they're both boats are going to arrive pretty close together at the corner.
Yes, Andrew will lead. Smeg going in for the drop now. There they go.
Gee whiz. Smeg being pretty conservative there about what they did.
Yeah. There's plenty of rain and plenty of wind coming by the look of it.
Possibly a bit of wind, Pete. Yep.
Ugh.
So make it hard for Smeg to make any impression here, this increase in pressure.
Andrew leads by a good 20 seconds. Final turning mark, and they off to the finish at Clark Island, Double Bay. Ooh, round Smeg goes in plenty of wind.
Pretty one track with the breeze this far left in this little rain score. You have to go to the right here. Ebb tide with freshwater flow on top.
Go into Garden Island. Boy, they've extended out on this third boat.
Yeah, you're good.
Which is the Royal Oak.
Keep going.
That's some idea of the rain. That is rain you can see. That white out.
And we're just cleaning the lens, guys. That's what that's good. Oh,
Both standing into towards Garden Island.
okay, John gets down.
So Royal Oak has dropped their spinnaker quite nicely, and there'll be another 30 seconds from rounding the mark. There they are. So there'll be a minute and a half to 2 minutes behind the 2 leaders. But Andrew will lead.
So on screen now, the 2 leaders. Smeg a bit of inversion in the puff, and Andrew no doubt pretty comfortable with their number 2 rig in.
Yes, he looks quite comfortable, Andrew, doesn't he? Just right in range for his number 2 or second rig. There's Lazarus coming in 4th spot, and Shaw and Partners will be behind him. Royal Oak really third on the water, but to be second place because Smeg was over at the start. So these boys will be pretty happy with this effort. To lead in to tomorrow's big event. Plenty of rain and plenty of wind. You can see now Royal Oak, mainsail, big inversion.
And even with a fair bit of twist, big inversion.
Yes.
Fair bit of jib twist, that is, sorry. Smeg just visible in the mist. And for the viewers, the picture might not look like it, but it's yeah, the visibility down, raining solid.
See the rainy background of the Darling Point shore. Smeg going up to the finish. Well behind now, Andu extending right in range for his second rig.
Definitely nice to have the whole harbour to ourselves today. Like tomorrow and Sunday, it's going to be busy as out here with the Sydney Harbour Regatta on as well, Pete.
Yes, make the most of it today because tomorrow, as you say, Jimmy, and Sunday is going to be very, very different. So that's Andu in the distance and Smeg both on nice right-handed shifts here. They're about a couple of minutes away from the finish up in Double Bay.
Just gave the lens on the main camera a bit of a wipe there.
So, rain squall over, and the leader's just a couple of minutes away from the finish. And the breeze fading, Pete. How about this for a late charge from the Smeg?
Yeah, I don't think he's got enough runway, has he, to get there?
Well, it just depends, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know? The breeze goes down to 6 knots. He does have runway.
Yeah. You can see he's going to run into another light spot here, Smeg, right up under Clark Island, but he's coming quickly at Andu. Andu in a big right-hander, but that's the distance. Great overhead shot. You can see what's happening. A few light spots on the water. Oh, Smeg just hit a brick wall there and stubbed his toe.
Probably just in the lee of Clark Island.
Yes,
They'd probably extend that far, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and Andu coming right round his bow. See the Ronston logo on the leech near the clue of Smeg sail. They've been a long time supporter of Smeg.
And not only of Smeg.
No, one of the great marine companies of Australia. Done a fabulous job in their support of yachting.
Now, Pete, what are you thinking now?
I'm thinking Sevi Jarman's a little bit nervous, but being an invitation race, I don't think he'd be too stressed. He doesn't get very stressed, Sevi, anyway.
No, doesn't.
But if you have a look, and he probably doesn't know Smeg was disqualified either. So I've written down Smeg's winning, but maybe I have to get my eraser out. Yeah. Well, he's just doing 2 to his 1 at the moment.
Yeah. So now Andu's, bogged down.
Can't get the go forward, can he?
Yeah. No, the apparent wind all goes away, and so oof.
So they're about 50 metres from the finishing line. Andu's just holding his nerve.
Andu has struggled across him now.
Yeah, look at Smeg, he's just rumbling up. You really see the difference in the rigs there, can't you? big rig. Oh, Smeg's just hit a bit of a header. No, I think Andrew's going to be right.
Yeah, no, he just got rolling on the edge of that puff again, but
Yeah.
it's a pretty close run thing.
Still got a tack here, though.
Yeah, but he can tack, Jones. You know, for a while there it looked like Smeg was in danger of getting enough gauge on him as well. So
Yeah. So Andrew will get the money here. 1, 2, 3, go.
So Andrew gets the chocolates and no horn or light for Smeg.
No.
Flack of the black kind.
Well, he went the other side of the line anyway.
He must have known.
The superstition.
He didn't finish.
No, well, a lot of blokes don't like finishing the invitation race, and they'll sell the whole race, go the wrong side of the line, whatever the case may be.
I think it's bad karma or some
Yeah.
some nonsensical thing.
Yeah.
Lee Napton was the worst at that.
Yeah, Napo, Chits was just saying Lee Napton, he was one of the worst at it. I sailed with him for a few years,
Well,
back
Napo-
in fine 11s.
Napo had some superstitions. He had red underpants,
Yeah, red hat.
red hat. If he lost the hat, he, shattered man. I don't know about the underwear, but
Well, besides that, he was a pretty good sailor. Very good sailor.
alarmingly good, I would say.
Yeah. So the Royal Oak. Another good performance from the boys to finish second. Well, they've got to finish yet, but they're about 50 metres downwind, 60 metres downwind. And so Tech 2 was the other boat that was over, along with the Burrowang and Smeg. So Tech 2's gone home. I don't know whether Burrowang is still going.
Burrowang's pulled out, Pete. They're just up above
They are.
the
Yes, thank you,
finish
Jimmy.
line.
Yep,
Just
so
in the
they're
back,
They're a DNF
just to the
or a DSQ.
left of screen.
I think some polite spectator might have given them some information, Peter, perhaps.
What, after they've done 3/4 of the race?
Yeah, well, that's fair enough.
Okay, here comes the Royal Oak. Aaron Everett, John Cooley and Charlie Gundy.
Well sailed,
Yeah,
those boys.
Yeah. But Andrew, a clear winner with Sevi Jarvin, Sam Newton and Matt Stenter. I mean, they really, at times where that second rig they struggled, but they kept up there and really, really good performance. I think it'll give them not that they probably need it, but a lot of confidence going into the series that gets underway tomorrow. And, as I said last week, Sevi looking to break his own record of 7 JJ Giltinans to try and get an 8th crown. We'll talk about that a bit more tomorrow, I guess, and as the week goes on. As we're watching Shaw and Partners, they're going for 3rd against Lazarus. It'll be quite tight with these guys, I think. Lazarus up.
Yeah, it was a close
higher.
cross just before.
Yes. So Lazarus will have the starboard tack rights here.
And Sean Partner's on a big header anyway.
Here he
They'll
comes.
come back okay, but doesn't seem to be too much wind on the right-hand side of the course, so Lazarus will consolidate here, you'd think. I shot them a couple of weeks ago, Pete, so I won't say any more, eh?
What did you do? I'm sorry.
He sunk them good.
Oh, yes, you did. Yes, coming to the finish. That was classic.
Couldn't have been more accurate if I tried.
Couldn't hang off the end of the spinnaker pole any harder, could you, bugger?
They've got the job done. They're looking great. Oops,
Yeah,
no, they're not.
no, they're not.
And watch this space.
Oh. Come on, Marcus. Bit of tack, I think, Alfera. No.
Waiting for a
3,
little puff.
2, 1. Come on, Marcus.
Waiting
There
for
you
the
go.
puff. He's only just going to get there, you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, just. No,
I don't know
maybe
about
not.
that.
Yes. Short half nose, Pete,
You
or
think
not?
Lazarus? I don't know.
Or a dead heat.
Well, it was starting officials are looking at each other.
Well, who got disqualified out of that lot? Only
Neither.
one. What? 2 horns? 1 horn.
I don't know.
2 horns.
Was that
2 horns.
Okay, all right. I'll let you off.
Well, we don't know the answer to that, but not the overall picture doesn't count that much. So the next lot
Righto.
will be Balmain, Yandu and Ilve.
Anyway, Pete, that was a good illustration of how much it costs to tack, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Lazarus clear ahead by 2 boat lengths, and it costs 2 boat lengths to tack.
Well, they're the next lot, and then not much after them. Yandu will be next in 5th spot. Balmain, and then in the distance, Ilve. And Fish and Pike all up to windward. So it's about the day, really.
Well, here's the thing, Pete, isn't it? Today it's probably going to be a little bit typical of the regatta as a whole because of the La Nina and the sort of incipient weather systems. And a few boats probably found out to some degree. And, you know, adaptability of rig, important, and your ability to forecast which rig to use, important. So it's looking to an interesting week.
Yes, it is. And I think we'll finalise things here from the invitation race for the 2020 JJ Giltinans, the first day of racing. Invitation race doesn't count towards points. The points begin tomorrow, so it's all on tomorrow. 2:45 start. We'll be back to bring this live stream to you, but just repeating the invitation race today, a very clear-cut victory to Andu because Smeg was over the line at the start, but Smeg with a big rig in and Andu provided a very exciting finish, but Andu was first, officially Royal Oak second, and we don't know who got third and fourth because it looked like a close dead heat between Lazarus and Shaw and Partners. But anyway, that's the invitation done as Yandu drifts up to the finishing line in 6th spot. We'll be back tomorrow, as I said, to bring the Giltinans to you. We hope you've enjoyed this afternoon. It's just a forerunner of tomorrow. We'll have a much bigger fleet tomorrow. They'll all be out to play. It'll all be serious tomorrow, and I think we're going to see a great week of racing, 9 races in all, and a worthy champion come Sunday week. So on behalf of Jimmy Bury, Andrew Buckland, Peter Shipway saying we look forward to your company tomorrow, and a very good afternoon from Sydney Harbour.